Our next question, we will start with Mr. Root. What is your vision for the former Salisbury Mall, and will you promise not to raise taxes to upgrade or redesign the building for either public or private businesses?
My vision for the Salisbury Mall, we have to look at a partnership with private industry and government use. If we're going to utilize the mall for the purposes that the mall is going to be, which is to house the various departments within the county government, then we have to look at joint partnership, because it just won't work to utilize that entire mall area. The infrastructure itself is suspect, and from my perspective, the mall itself was a questionable solution to the county needs for increased area for workspace, whether it be the health department, the board of elections, veterans affairs. You saw recently where one of the mall attendants has joined the effort with another small business, veterans coffee house. So the utilization of the mall is going to have to follow in that footsteps. The mall itself is going to, the infrastructure, as I spoke about earlier, we're going to have to make some hard decisions about these tax dollars, which leads to the question, would I vote for a tax increase to renovate the mall, to continue the infrastructure, to upgrade it? I'm not in favor of raising taxes for the mall, period. I'm not in favor of the mall as a county governmental place, period. However, moving forward, the best plan would be to bring in joint partnership with people that have an understanding of how to best progress now that we have this. Taxes have a better use than to use for governmental agencies.
Thank you. Mr. Sides.
Well, I'm mistaken. I thought all taxes were used for governmental agencies, but maybe I don't know as much about what's going on as I thought I did. My plans for the mall, we did not have a strategic plan when we bought it. When the mall came available, it was a bid process. We didn't have a lot of time to get together. We didn't have time to put it on the ballot and go to the voters and ask their opinion. You elect commissioners. You have a representative form of government. You elect us to make a lot of decisions for you. We built a $6.5 million jail. We didn't go ask you, did you want us to do it? We consolidated the DSS building. We didn't put it on a ballot and ask you if you wanted us to do it. We built a new 911 center. We did a lot of things that a representative government does for the people that elects it. Now, you certainly have the right, if you don't agree with the things that we do, to take us out of office. And that's what I'd recommend that you do. If you're not happy with the leadership you have, you need to get new leadership. But let me tell you something. The mall was not a bad idea. When you can buy 329,000 square feet for $10 a square foot, and it's a 27-year-old building. My house is 40-some years old. It's not wore out. I'm not moving out. I'm going to plan to die there. But we intend to use the mall. We intend to develop a plan. We're in the process of doing that right now. We're forced by the school system to buy used buildings and repurpose them because they won't accept used buildings. They've got to have new ones. So we don't have any choice. And we had a capital improvement plan in 2005 that identified needs that we had across the county. Some of those haven't been met. We're going to meet those at the mall. And believe me, 5 years from now, some of you naysayers are going to be saying that's one of the best decisions we ever made.
Ms. Lewis.
We own them all. I opposed it. I think we paid at least $2 million more than we should have. And if we had let the business progress go, the process, we could have probably picked it up for $500,000. Pennies on the dollar. But we own them all. So now what do? We have to have a strategic plan. But even before that, we need to have construction engineering firm to come in there and figure out what is going to need to happen. Does this building have asbestos? Is it really going to be worth another $5 to $10 million to upfit it? We know that the roof needs to be replaced at $1.5 million. So I truly believe, to represent you as citizens in this area, we are honor bound to do that inspection and to get a true understanding of what it's going to cost. Then, if we decide to go forward, then we can put together that strategic plan and we can start to meet the needs of the county and the community. But here again, I just want to go back to how we find ourselves where we are. And I think it's lack of vision. I believe that this was an expensive purchase that is already going to cost us at least $0.005 cent next year.
Mr. Love.
I think I've made it pretty obvious out in the public that I believe Rowan County, first of all, should not be a landlord. It should not be in the realty business. It sure should not be in the retail business. Rowan County provides services for its people. And running stores, renting out stores, and running a mall, it is not a service that I can see the people of this community benefiting from. Mall is very expensive. The upkeep of the mall is very expensive. There's a reason that you anchor stores and all the other stores left, because there's too many problems, and there's a reason that the man that owned the mall didn't keep it up. It got too expensive. If you've ever remodeled your house or remodeled something and really done it right the way it's supposed to be, it costs a whole lot more to remodel than it does to build new. And with government buildings, there's a lot of laws and a lot of rules you have to follow that you don't follow at your own house. You think about all that space. Think about your house. If you didn't have the heat and air on year round, people weren't in there year round, you got to keep it up or it falls apart. Therefore, you got to do something with all that buildings and square footage, or it's going to fall apart. I can't see the benefit of remodeling and putting money into a 30-year-old building when you could probably build the same building big enough to house and do what you need to do as a government center cheaper than what you're going to spend on that. Yes, there's room to grow, and Lord knows this county needs to look at room to grow, because from what I've seen, nothing gets smaller. Thank you.